Well, welcome to our ReadAloud. I'm Ruth Zesko, I coordinate them. And today we have Celeste Friedman, who is quite a professional. She's a composer, a singer-songwriter, a Grammy nominee, and a self-published author, which she's going to be reading from one of her books today, Singles 101. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. It's an interesting book. She's been in broadcasting, has scored for television, film, animation, and she's won the 2005 Ohioana Library Association Citation Award in Music and Education. So she's very prolific and very talented. And I've heard from so many people about what a wonderfully entertaining presentation she gives. So I'd like to welcome you, Celeste Friedman.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you. This is really great. This is my first read aloud here on campus, and I'm just so grateful that all of you took the time to spend some time with us this afternoon. Throughout the years, while I've been on the road with my band, I've been traveling or whatever, you know how life is. You start talking to people and you share your experiences, and so many times the conversation would lead to, oh, are you married or single or whatever, and then people would get on that topic. And the stories that I've heard over the years, I just decided to myself, hey, that would make a great book, or that would make a great title, or that would make a great article. So eventually I started jotting them down so that I wouldn't forget them. And this has really been a 7-year project. It's gone on and off. Does anybody here write themselves? Any writers? If you know the experience where sometimes, you write some things down and you think, no, that's a crazy idea, and put it away. And then you think, no, I should do something about that. So you pull it back out again and go through it, and you write and you rewrite and you edit and you rewrite. And after about 7 years, I finally said, I'm either going to do something about this or I'm not. So it became this book here, and there's a display over there on the table, called Single 101, 101 Reasons to Celebrate Being Single. And for me personally, I'm married twice. I've been in and out of relationships. And I discovered one day all of a sudden that I was more successful in my career, especially my music career, when I wasn't attached to someone. I didn't have to ask for permission or gain the approval of a spouse to pursue new opportunities and develop my career. And that's another book that I should probably write about, the struggles of being married and having to, being a woman and asking your spouse, what do you think of this or what do you think of that? Because being married, I found myself wanting to respect and be loyal to my husband, and he was in, a period in his life where he was in a career shift change. He was in broadcasting, and all of a sudden we pulled up roots and moved far, far away from our home, and I had to give up my job, sell the house that I had built with my father, and made a lot of sacrifices to go to a place where I didn't find any work, and eventually went back on the road with a band, and then I was back in the music business again. So you'll find little pieces and parts in this book where I do relate to some of my experiences, especially one of the reasons about how to embrace the unknown. So a lot of that story is in the vignette with that reason. But I'd like to begin. Would you like to hear the foreword of the book first? I'd like to begin with that because it does kind of open you up to a little bit more about me personally and why I wrote the book. After 2 marriages and a few live-in boyfriends, I developed a love-hate relationship with being single. I have passed on several career opportunities, been forced to sell my dream home that I built with my late father, and given up much of what I've wished for, all due to my loyalty toward a spouse or lover. I was a typical girl who dreamed of true love, my wedding day, a happy family, children. My first marriage evolved into a partnership which sadly grew apart due to opposing career goals. Religious differences and financial status tore my second marriage to shreds, as I was from a lower class factory town with Gentile blood flowing in my veins. By trade, I'm a singer-songwriter and composer. Realizing that I was sacrificing my career and catering exclusively to the demands of the men in my life, I had no choice but to throw in the towel. I walked away every time in every relationship that I'd been in, starting all over again and again. Once I gave myself the chance to focus on my own needs and my career, I became far more successful living alone. While staying single, I've been nominated for a Grammy Award, scored for a Pulitzer Prize-nominated play, won several awards in music and education, received award nominations for contributions in television, and given wonderful opportunities to write and perform for children. I'll be the first to admit that it's complicated living with me. My passion for writing and composing consumes my days and nights, and sometimes both, and I don't function in a messy or noisy environment. And at this stage in my life now, after being single for so long, I prefer the bed all to myself. My cats sometimes have something to say about that. Through the years, I have been dealt a few bad cards, from 3 miscarriages to being struck with rheumatoid arthritis. And it happened actually in the prime of my life. I've been fighting it for 20 years, but managing it well. There are times when I regret not being able to have children and wonder what life would be like now if I had a family. Today, more men and women are planning and developing a career ahead of marriage. The general consensus for men seems to be the desire to build wealth and status first, while women want the freedom to establish themselves as individuals, embracing self-respect and self-worth. Statistics show that more people are choosing the single life after divorce or failed relationships, even after the loss of a spouse. In Single 101, 101 Reasons to Celebrate Being Single, my mission purely is just to entertain and inspire and support both men and women who relish their independence. Single 101 upholds an individual's dignity, gives allegiance to those who choose to live single, and encouragement to others considering the possibilities. It opens our eyes to the truth that not all people who are single have been abandoned or lonely or are desperate. Single 101 is a countdown to number 1. Living alone doesn't have to be a permanent situation, and many find it invaluable to experience total freedom for as long as they like. Remember, reason number 30, you rule. Eventually, I gave into the theory that it is far better to be alone than to wish you were. In my pursuit of happiness, I am content flying solo, and my story is reflected in reason number 1. One final note. Some people may pop open the champagne and literally celebrate, while others may find that the path they've paved for themselves as a single person is not what they had imagined. If you are completely alone in life, aging with no children or family, I hope that you have dear friends and compassionate neighbors. It is possible to reach a point where living all alone forces you to find a new living arrangement should you lack the resources to survive or have a threatening health issue. Freedom is not free. Hopefully you are blessed with independence and peace for a long, long time. That's the foreword in the book. I'd like to start out with reason 101 for you today. It's spontaneity. Who likes to be spontaneous? Anybody have you done something spontaneous or on the spur of the moment recently? Did you? How did it make you feel? It feels good, doesn't it? Just drop everything and go. Well, the choice to fly solo can even be a spontaneous intention, and one that you may never regret. Even if you find that the single life is not for you, the opportunity that you give yourself to explore the possibilities is a worthy journey. Each day begins with decisions that you make on your own, whether it's household chores or ways that you'd like to pass the time. And there is no reason to need permission for anything. You come and go as you please, day or night. In today's world of juggling work